I purchased this yellow tea cart at an estate sale of a woman that had passed over a year ago. It had been painted yellow to match the dining room set with a round table, 4 chairs, and a small hutch. As a set, it actually looked bright and cheerful, but there is just no way I would ever strip a table and 4 chairs, so that was not an option for me to purchase. I hate refinishing dining room sets. However, this little cart had potential. It had been moved to the covered patio by the owner when the wheels fell off. It was dusty and dirty. The brass was extremely tarnished, but the wood appeared to be in good shape. I had an idea of what might be underneath that paint, but I wasn't certain. I guess it was out of curiosity more than anything that I purchased this tea cart. What is under that yellow paint? I decided the best way to tackle this tea cart was to disassemble it. I washed it as I went along with crud cutter and then rinsed it with clear water. Latex paint must have been used because as I washed it, the paint just peeled off in some areas. I'm going to just let the video roll so you can see how I disassembled it and prepared it for the next step. I gathered all my supplies and prepared to strip the paint and finish from the tea cart. I started with the side pieces. It appeared that the back of these side pieces had the original finish on them, and that's why I started with them. Of course, to remove the finish, I had to determine what was used on it. I did a test with denatured alcohol and lacquer thinner. As a result of these tests, I knew I did not have lacquer or a shellac finish. Therefore, it had to be polyurethane. The sticker on the back indicated that it was made in Italy. So I watched a video produced by a family-owned company in Italy that discussed how they apply multiple coats of polyurethane on their furniture. The finish on that furniture looked the same as the finish on this tea cart. It was very polished, smooth, and glossy. As a result, I was fairly certain this furniture was finished with polyurethane. Quick Strip removes polyurethane, so that was the reason I chose it. However, as you can see from this video, it didn't remove the finish. I left it on for over 30 minutes and only small amounts of the finish was coming off. I went to the internet to seek additional information and found very few sources. One video showed how he burned off a polyurethane finish. I was not willing to give that a try. Most agreed that sanding was the best option for complete removal of polyurethane. When it came to removing the paint, though, I did use Quick Strip, and it did a great job at removing all of the paint. I applied a heavy coat of Quick Strip and allowed it to sit for about 15 minutes. I tried using a plastic putty knife, but the metal putty knife did the best job at removing it. I applied additional stripper and after a few minutes used very coarse steel wool to remove the last parts of the paint. I could tell as I was stripping it that there was a very thick coat of polyurethane coating the wood. It didn't appear that I was affecting the polyurethane with the stripper, so I felt it was safe to proceed with the Quick Strip. By this time, I was able to see what was under all that paint, and it blew me away. Look at the genuine inlaid wood. The craftsmanship in creating it with all the detail and color variation was amazing. I was extremely careful as I proceeded because I knew if I actually stripped the finish off to the bare wood, I would have damaged this delicate inlaid beyond repair. The polyurethane was actually protecting it. So as I proceeded, my goal was to change the finish from a glossy finish to a satin or matte finish on the polyurethane. Once all the paint was gone from the top and the shelf, which also had beautiful intricate inlaid wood, I allowed it to dry overnight. I next turned my attention to polishing the brass parts on the tea cart. I put full-strength distilled white vinegar in a large pan and heated it on my hot plate. I allowed the wheel to sit in the hot vinegar and then scrubbed it with the vinegar water using a fine steel wool pad. I could see that it had a coating of some kind over the brass to keep it from turning dark. This was easily removed with the hot vinegar. Eventually I got all the tarnish off. This process was used for the hinges as well as the handle. I later used Brasso to further clean these items. The Brasso removed the last traces of tarnish and brought back the original shine. You can see in these two images how much brighter the handle looked after I used the Brasso. The last step was to give everything a coating of lacquer to maintain the shine. I restained the wood on the handle and applied a coat of satin polyurethane to the handle as well as the wood on the wheels. I sanded the metal parts of the wheels and sprayed them gold. A coat of furniture wax on the rubber part of the wheels made it look dark black, so they too looked brand new. I wanted to make the stained parts of the table darker in color, so I sanded all parts of the tea cart that didn't have any inlaid wood with 220 grit sandpaper using an orbital sander. And then I used a dry cloth to remove as much dust as possible. I went over it one last time with mineral spirits so the stain would go on more smoothly. While the mineral spirits were still wet, I used an oil-based varathane stain in the color dark walnut that dries in only 1 hour. I applied 2 coats of the stain to the side shelves and 1 coat to the underside of the table. Here is a photo showing this side piece on the left stained dark walnut and the one on the right in the original color. As I mentioned before, I wanted to get rid of the high gloss shine on the top of the table, and I didn't think I could just shoot another coat of polyurethane over the top of the original poly. So I used 220 grit sandpaper on an orbital sander to rough up the surface a little over the top of the inlaid wood. I was holding my breath the whole time because I really wasn't certain if this was going to work. Unfortunately, the video I took at the time is corrupted. I just spent the last 3 hours trying to repair that video, but I finally just gave up. Therefore, I'm showing you the same process I used to sand the back of the table. Here you can see what the top looked like after I sanded it as I flipped the table over in the video. It appeared to work because the inlaid wood was intact thanks to the original thick coat of polyurethane. I dusted off all the wood pieces and then used an oil-based spray polyurethane in a satin finish to spray 2 to 3 light coats on top of everything. I was very pleased with this new finish. The satin finish allows the wood grain to stand out more than before. The inlaid wood and not the highly reflective glossy finish is now the star of the show. I let everything dry overnight. The next day I sanded the top with crumpled up craft paper to get rid of any dust nubs that may have landed on the surface as it dried. I dusted it once again and then applied a coat of furniture wax to everything. You can see in this close-up that there is no trace of the glossy original finish. Instead, there's a soft satin finish that enhances the wood grain and inlaid wood. The only thing left to do was to reassemble this lovely tea cart.
I don't like being on my own. I could use someone to hold, and I've been trying to fill the void, but my bed is getting cold. 'Cause I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not anymore. You said you had to go away just to figure out who you are, and I'm in this empty house with your pictures on my wall, but I don't have you, I don't have us, at least not.
Do you remember what it looked like when I started? While the yellow paint did make it look bright and cheery, I can't imagine why anyone would paint over this gorgeous inlaid wood. I'm so pleased that I was able to restore it and give it new life with a darker stain and satin finish. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. That helps my channel a lot because it tells YouTube that this video is of value and others would benefit too. If you become a subscriber and click the notification bell, you'll be the first one notified when I post my weekly videos. I certainly appreciate all the support great viewers like you have shown my little channel. I enjoy reading your words of encouragement in the comments, and it's very motivating that you appreciate what I do. I didn't want to forget to mention that I made it to 11,000 subscribers today. You have no idea how excited I got. I work hard at producing these weekly videos, and your subscription is the best endorsement you can give to support my efforts. I want to thank all of my subscribers for their support and encouragement. Thank you. On the right, you'll see several videos that provide additional information about how to refinish, restore, and restyle furniture so you can flip it for a profit or refinish it for your personal use. Thank you for watching.
I saw you from across the room. When our eyes met, I never knew that I could feel this way, and it's kinda strange.